of narrow gauges. Everything down to 2 feet, 30 inches, 36 inches. And we did have we had 3 mountain logging railroads in this county. The 2 biggest ones were the Sugar Pine Railroad out of Standard, and the one out of Tuolumne City was a narrow gauge. And I think that's a 30-inch narrow gauge. And sometimes it would just depend upon, on a wheel. That would very much limit. They'd have to plan well ahead of what they wanted to do. One of the moved from the Midwest to Southern California, Disneyland had just opened. And the most highly touted ride there was the monorail. Yeah. Well, what was the big deal about the monorail?
Had one rail.
Had one rail. It didn't have that friction. Well, it was important then. I don't know as it is so much so now because we don't have a lot of monorails in the world. And Los Angeles County just put several $1 million into a transit system that's not a monorail. Well, this is the machine shop. This is called an overhead line shaft, sometimes called a flat belt shop. One motor drives every piece of equipment in here. And that motor's at the back behind that expanded steel cage, and the belt that comes up on an angle back there turns this shaft that runs the full length of the building, and then the belts come off of that and then over down to the individual of the machines. An operator take the belt off the idler wheel, put it on one of the drive wheels, and activate and operate that machine. Now, these guys are too young. They're not. There was a job. Okay, now you're going to have to remember this. This is going to be a quiz, okay? Oh, he's scared. He doesn't speak English. Devoted to them pumping that up and down. So that's our John Wayne handcar. I've been giving these tours for 10 years. 3 weeks ago, a woman said, "I've got that movie." That's the first time anybody's ever said anything about it. Let's see, what else? Any questions? Did I pique your curiosity or anything? Well, there weren't any people young enough, or, I'm sorry, go ahead.
How did they press those wheels on?
How did they press them on?
Yeah.
With this machine right here. See, here's the stop right here, and this side over here has got a ram that would push them on. And then you could pull them off the same way. It doesn't swing anymore. It would have originally serviced this forge right here, but it's not going to now. This area over here, this was, I'm told, the tinsmith's table. And tinsmiths stood around and just hammered on tin a lot. They had different shaped hammers. And what we have out here is just displays of all various railroad things here. I'm always enthused by the bushings. I'm told that there were people that sat around all day long, and what their job was to match the bushing to the sleeve. And they would put bluing inside there, spin it, take it off, see where the high spots were, shave it down, and continue to do that until it was very smooth inside and lubrication could take over from that point. It's a good thing they went to roller bearings and ball bearings, because boy, that's a real crude way to turn a wheel.
This looks like the Pickering crane number 2 that was, or not number 2, but Pickering crane 1305 that was used to work with track maintenance over a period of years and is now retired and privately owned. The number 2 will be approaching the crane shortly. This is the original main line for the Angels Camp branch, which our tour guide talked about earlier. It is now a siding, and it's only home to some of the early rock cars that were used on the Hetch Hetchy Railroad and Pickering Lumber Company number 7. The locomotive is now privately owned by, I'm not really sure who, but privately owned by a dentist. And apparently he has no money to restore it, so it's stored here on our property of Railtown. It looks like the number 2 may not be coming down to the crane today, as it appears that the track inspection vehicle is already moved in front of it, and if they were coming down here, they wouldn't have done that till later. So I'm going to find out what's happening. Looks like he's the engineer today. She won't be refilling on the last time around, because she just did. That's why she didn't run around, is because she just took water and it took longer. So, because she is on a slow order, she won't be able to take some next time. She'll be running around next time, and I'll catch that.